Hello. Welcome back to Being Villainous. I'm Grim. I am the GM for this particular game. We are using the Fate system. Um, Hopefully, my players have been enjoying themselves. You can, since I forget to do the introduction for myself all the time, I'm going to go ahead and do it now. You can find me here on Shadows of Nox, running this, or playing in the Power Rangers games, either as the Red Ranger for Centurion Ridge, or once it starts being uploaded, I'll be playing the Green Ranger in the Power Rangers podcast. And as of the time of this recording, um, Fallout has restarted, so I have reprised my role as Lucky. Hooray! Um, that pretty much covers any place you can find me. So, eeny, meeny, miny, Lottie, let's go with you first.
Hey there, what's up? It is, it's me, Lottie West. I'm a little sleepy today because I just got done with a weekend-long LARP. My brain is mashed potatoes, to say the very least. I play in this game as Ermengarde Wise, a goblin obsessed with beauty. But you can also find me in the Power Rangers podcast as Cecily Adwell, the Ren Fair Blue Ranger, or you can find me as Dr. Priscilla Byrne, the archaeologist in the Sunday night Call of Cthulhu game here on Shadows of Nox. I'm also the not the artistic director, the marketing director for BCon, which is a Chicagoland LARP convention. I have a LARP that was written and it got accepted into the convention. So if you'd like to try and play it, a game that I've written, it's called Whispering Pages, and I'm really, really excited to have people come try it out. You can check me out on Instagram at Lottie West, and yeah.
Hooray! Thank you so much for
Hooray!
that. We're going to move on to Kit, since I'm picking randomly.
Well, okay. I'm Kit. In this game, I play Janox Silvertalon, necromancer extraordinaire, and doer of what are probably war crimes, if anyone finds out we did them, which they definitely won't, because that would never be found out. How could it? For other places, I have joined the Fallout game, previously mentioned by Grim, over at Lucas G Variety, where I play... Oh god. The mistake of a name that I have is V/C70R, or one of the 8 billion nicknames he's already gotten. You can just probably go with Victor. Keep in mind that a well-regulated society is a happy society. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I am excited and ready to do crime here instead of other places. That's me. I'm done now.
Hooray! Next, we're going to go to... There's only two people. Why not John?
Hey, hi, hello. My name is John Blair. You can find me on the internet under the alias Chunky Love. I'm here playing Eden, the acolyte of Nature's Revenge, a centaur man who is very big and pretty and is currently getting into a fight with a forest spirit guardian Ider person. You can find me on the Power Rangers Shadows of Nox entities as Brick Kerrigan in the podcast, as well as Felix Boucheron in the Power Ranger Centurion. You can also find me doing other things. Maybe if you're here on Wednesday night, we'll be playing with Isabits, doing our little Shadowrun game. And that's been really fun. I've been really enjoying that. And other than that, you can find
Blades in the Dark.
Blades in the Dark. Thank you. But yeah, that's me.
Excellent. And last, but certainly not least, our amazing tech person, Isabits.
I'm Isabits. I am here for this playing the, what am I? The apprentice killer for hire. I am also on Fallout now as the mercenary who is just already done with both of the Vault Dwellers that she has
Very
met.
mean to me.
She's very done. Her name is Quinn. She does not have time for these Vault Dwellers that are all happy and want paperwork signed. I am also in both Power Rangers games on Wednesdays here at Shadows of Nox. I am on the podcast as a Red Ranger, Jane Russell, and I am on Centurion as the Blue Ranger, Jules Verne. And I am running Blades in Dark this Wednesday, however, because we took some time off of Power Rangers. I think that's it. No, I run Call of Cthulhu on Sundays. Duh.
Yeah,
I do
I'm
that.
in it.
Yeah. I think that's it for me. I don't actually know. I think that's it for now.
That's acceptable. We can stop there. Anyway, on to the recap of the actual game. My favorite question to ask people when I first start each session is, who remembers what happened last time?
I took
Well, as
the most relaxing spa trip ever.
I recall,
Yeah, it was
Eden
beautiful
got
and
into
fun.
an ethical debate with a goat, which deteriorated.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
would
about
say
right.
I would say deteriorated is definitely the word. He wants to kill our friends, and I don't really want them to die just yet. Um, although I can't say that I disagree with the points that he's made about nature and returning it to its rightful owners, I should say.
And yeah, that's part of the dilemma, isn't it? You know, you want to restore nature, and this guy is like, "Hey, I'm going to use your friends as a sacrifice to empower nature."
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm ready to give up on them. They're fun.
They're fun indeed. It appears we have lost our necromancer. Let's give it just a moment.
Perhaps he'll be able to bring his internet back from the dead.
I mean, if it was the internet, you'd lost me too. It's just his Discord being stupid.
I didn't have a single problem through all of Fallout, and that was what 2 days ago.
It was Saturday.
Yeah. Okay,
So, yeah.
I'm back and I'm prepared to do something.
Hooray. So yeah, there was a conversation, some stuff happened. I like how you neglected to talk about anything you found out in town.
I mean, sure. I was far more concerned at the whole goat thing, but yeah,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
yeah. We found out that there's a pretty lady that's a hero that's gonna get stabbed. I'm sure.
Definitely, she's got to go down.
Yeah. There's gonna be a festival in a couple days. If I want to get in with the local crime people, I gotta pretend to be drunk at a specific tent, as well as anyone else who also wants to get in, do some jobs for the local criminal element.
Earn some money.
Yeah, we decided to go to the woods to gather fun resources because we had 3 days, so why not? Let's day trip to the woods, or 3 day trip to the woods.
And you found the forest guardian, who's trying to sacrifice your friends to a pool of death.
Yep, he's being a real dick about it.
It was a nice, lovely little spa day for them, though, as they are asleep at the start of what will be essentially combat.
True.
Sorry for ruining your spa day.
I was told I was getting prettier, and that was really important to me. So
You should be sorry. This is very relaxing. It's the
really
best
want
nap
to
I've
be.
ever had.
I mean, listen, if you want to be dead, then like, cool.
We could avoid this whole situation.
Something tells me though that you don't want to be dead, and I should keep you alive for killing purposes. Not that I
Yeah,
would kill you.
I
but
do
that
want to
you can
murder
kill
that
other
pretty
people.
lady.
I mean, fair enough. Anyway, what we're going to do here, because I believe Janik took the first actual offensive action.
We actually paused before any actions were rolled or anything like that.
Right, but you took the first offensive action by going, I'm going to melt the strings of your harp.
You
Ah.
did destroy his harp.
Well, yeah, and then you guys had a conversation. Anyway, what were you saying? Sorry.
Oh, the whole point of that is I was going to let you go first, but if you want to argue against it.
Oh, I was actually going to say, considering Eden was the one to have the final word and actually kick off combat.
Well, we could do that too.
But I'm fine either way.
You can rock, paper, scissors for it.
Sassy.
All right. Well, we'll let
Uh,
Eden go first then. By the way, starting combat, first thing you're going to notice once things actually start up is, the land comes to life.
Great.
It was already alive, essentially, but, it's almost literal now because...
More alive. Double alive.
Because there are essentially Trents that are roughly Ermengarde-sized that have sprouted from the ground.
I think instead of alive, I think the word you're looking for is animate.
Yeah. That works too. I mean, I'm running on 3 hours of sleep, so I'm going to go with...
Probably
I'm
more
going to go with
coherent.
that works.
Double alive.
Okay.
All right, so Eden, just to kind of give you a situation. Right now, you have, within close range, 3 of these little Trent people, your 2 sleeping friends, they're within the close range zone. Within the medium range zone is the Satyr Man, and then for long range, you've got Janik and one of the trees that has apparently decided it wants to mess with him.
Can I ask a question really quick, just to clarify something for myself?
Sure.
From last session. I know that Eden pulled Ermengarde out of the water, but I thought I was still floating. Is that correct? Or am I out of the water now?
He pulled both of you out of the water.
He did? Okay.
That's why, if you look at the map that I'm essentially using, just to kind of give you an idea where things are, you're both out of the water.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because I didn't think I was, but that's cool.
Well, he pulled you out of the water because the water was going to kill you.
Which is bad.
Yeah, I just, for whatever reason, I didn't remember him actually doing the rolls to pull me out too. I just thought we had done the goblin. I'm gonna be so grumpy when I wake up now that you woke me up out of my slumber. I'm just kidding.
So, Eden, you have that first turn, sir. What's your plan, Centaur Man?
What's the plan, Centaur Man? I am going to... I guess I have to deal with, the immediate threat. I was thinking that I would be able to just kind of, go toe-to-toe with the satyr, but...
I mean, you can.
probably have to deal with these tree folk first. Well, I don't want them to hurt.
My point was that you
I want
could,
the
not that there
damage
wouldn't
done
be
to them.
consequences.
Right. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna take one of these ones that is closest to me. Tree folk 1, I suppose, and I'm going to let me look at my character sheet real fast.
Okay. I want to remind you all, of course, of the Fate utilities, which will help you out with keeping track of how many Fate points you have, as well as any, as well as, your
Specs.
aspects. So nice quickly to be able to see yours and your allies And surprisingly enough, the Fate utility, which I didn't know, has all of the actors that are currently in combat listed. So that's pretty cool.
I guess I'm gonna go for a magecraft roll. I think I'm gonna try and like I'm gonna try and these are walking sentient trees that we have fighting us right now.
They are walking. Whether or not they're actually, well, they're definitely sentient. Whether or not they're sapient is up for debate.
Little tweets.
Okay, can I am I able to sort of like I'm gonna try and like restrain it with its own or with like roots or like other sort of vines or things that might be apparent in the forest right now?
I mean, you could definitely do that. It is also made of tree, so
Yeah.
you have the option of being able to just try to unmake it because it's made out of nature magic and you control nature magic.
You know, that was like my original thought, but then I was like, I can't just destroy it, can I? But I get if I can, then I will
Yeah, you could just be like, "Go away," wave your hand.
yeah.
Whether or not you
Okay,
actually
cool.
destroy it on the first spell is up for debate.
Yeah,
Summon
remains to be seen.
termites.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try and like I don't know, do something with it to like break it apart or in that way. Let's make a little roll here. I don't like what that looks like.
Well, it's opposed, so let's see what the shrub gets.
I
It
just saw
is in
what
fact opposed. Oh, it's a 3 because your magecraft isn't bad, and this is of course going to be opposed by its will because you're literally trying to undo the magic that animates it. And it got
Ooh,
a 0.
I like that.
That's a success with
that.
style.
It is a success with style.
Though I
I
think
like,
for
I like to
damage.
imagine this tree pops out of the ground and I just go,
Nope.
no. Just
Yeah. So the it is going to take mental stress as it tries to prevent you from undoing it. And you watch as like the magic loosens on its form, but it doesn't fall apart. So it is obviously it is obviously weakened, but still moving.
Quick
Okay.
follow-up question: did it have to take a condition to
No.
Okay, so I just marked its third stress.
Yeah. I have for sake of because I'm not a huge fan of the mook and minion rules for the game because they're too easy to squish unless there's a large number of them. So for smaller ones, I'm basically just giving them stress boxes with no consequences based on their skills. That way they last a little longer than just one hit and they're out. But if you see where there's like a ton of little mooks on the screen, that probably means that they're little one-shot wonders. Do enough damage to do even one, and that one's going to disappear. So I'm kind of adjusting the rules a little, but I think it adds a little drama when the little mooks aren't just set and forget type deal.
Oh, sure.
Anyway, now don't forget we now have the popcorn initiative tracker to pass the turn. There are much more enemies, so front loading yourselves has a bigger disadvantage because there are about as many of them as there are of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna I guess I'm gonna let this tree folk that I just tried to mess
Explode.
with. I'm gonna let him go next.
Okay. All right. So the tree folks have a very simple. They have a very simple goal. Um, distract you while dragging the ladies back into the water. So, um, while normally people would be like, "This is not going to be." There's no reason for her not to. The tree folk's going to walk up to Beatrix, grab her, and start dragging her into the water again. But I see no reason why you wouldn't want to fight back on that, even subconsciously. So let's take a look here. Waking up from the
same tree folk that is currently in like a mental putting itself back together.
Yes, it is following its directive, which is
Okay.
push the lady back into the water.
Fair enough.
One of them has been assigned the job of fighting you. You just don't know which one.
What am I rolling to combat that?
I'm trying to think what's going to be best here. Athletics, because that's the physical dodgy thing.
Okay.
Isn't she asleep?
She is, but you know,
Okay.
I'm giving her the chance to like toss and turn since she's no longer as comfortable as she was. The water's super comfortable. Dry land, not so much.
Back to the water.
Ah, hooray! The tree folk is now dragging her back to the water.
It was warm in there.
It was just the right temperature.
It was.
Yeah.
All right, its turn is over. Why not? It's gonna pass it to its buddy that's been given the same directive.
Time for me. What am I rolling against him?
You're gonna be rolling athletics.
I got a 4.
Well, hooray! I
I'm
think you might
apparently a
avoid
very,
being dragged.
I'm a very uncomfy
It's
sleeper.
sleeper.
Yep. So while this tree folk is trying to wrangle the goblin, apparently the goblin is having some kind of nightmare because she intrinsically understands she's less beautiful out of the water.
She has
So-
restless leg syndrome. She's just kicking.
Yep. So there's no dragging there. You're no closer to the water than you were before. Let's pass it to. I'm gonna pass it to Janik next.
It's Janik's time to shine. And by that, well, first thing I'm gonna do is take to the skies, cause why would I be on the ground next to this thing that wants to potentially harm me?
Right. So you're moving to get to instead of close range. Was it zone 2 medium range?
Yeah, so putting myself in medium range. And what I think I will do, since 2 of our compatriots are still unconscious, and things are actively trying to drag them into the water to drown them, is I'm going to try and create an obstacle so that those guys can't do that by let's go with the nice good classic. Let's get that green necromancy fire as I just take my staff and sweep it across a line as flames rise up and kill stuff.
All right, go ahead and make that magecraft roll.
And do boop doop boop doop boop. Click.
Okay. I didn't set a TN for it because normally creating an obstacle has a TN of, I believe it has a set TN of 1 for something that simple.
I think it's more about me setting the difficulty for them to overcome it.
Ah, right.
Because if they try and get it, well, no, it's create the obstacle, and then when they try and get over it, it's an opposed roll from me. That's what it is. I was misremembering.
Right.
But I have created a bank of necrotic fire to prevent them from just drowning our friend.
Fair enough. All right. Who are you passing it to?
Let's see if we can't wake our friends up. Let's go and give them a chance.
Wake me up inside. Wake up. Can't wake up.
Beatrix
inside.
is closer to drowning. Let's give her a shot. Please wake up.
All right, Beatrix. Since the satyr's no longer maintaining the spell, it is just a TN1 will roll to wake up on your own.
Do you have the willpower to get up from comfy nap? No, you do
No.
not.
No,
No, I
apparently
don't.
you continue to sleep. That is, you just had to roll a 0? You just had to roll a 0. But you rolled a -2.
Well, George
Now-
does get the option to invoke something.
I was actually going to remind of that.
You know, the water's my comfortable place right now. I think I'm just gonna let it ride and see what happens.
All right, Beatrix continues to sleep. Please choose the next person on the initiative.
I'm trying to help you, damn it.
I appreciate that.
Not enough.
I'm gonna pick one of the tree folk, I think. Actually, I'm gonna pick the. That's probably a bad idea. I'm gonna pick the forest guardian to get him out of the way.
You pick Forest Guardian?
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent. All right, it's the Forest Guardian's turn. His harp no longer has strings. Sadness. Sadness indeed. All right, so he's going to try and remove the necrotic flames, which is going to be an opposed roll with Janik. So that'd be your willpower versus his magecraft as he tries to undo the spell.
Okie dokie. Well,
Ooh, and he's got a. I think he might win this one.
nope, it's a tie.
It's a tie. Okay. Let me check something here. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my GM fate points and activate one of his aspects. So because you've got it blocking the water, essentially some of the water comes up and tries to start engulfing the flames to put them out.
Yeah.
You have the option if you want. You can use one as well.
I am aware. Not at this time.
Excellent. All right, so the Forest Guardian manages to put out the flames. He feels safe at his current location, so he's not going anywhere. We're gonna pass it to one of his buddies. Well, Janik is out of range, and this little guy has been assigned to attack him. So he's gonna reach down to the ground, scoop up a rock, and then he's gonna throw it at you.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna go ahead and use some of that lovely shielding magic. I did it. By a lot.
Yeah. So he goes to throw the rock, and apparently he's not really designed for throwing things. So the rock goes wide as you prepare your shielding magic, and it just kind of zips past.
I think I get a boost for beating him by that much.
I don't remember.
I'll look it up. Move on to the next one.
I think the boosts are for ties under certain things.
Like I said, I'll look it up. And move to
Anyway,
the next thing.
yeah. We're gonna go for the other tree folk. we're gonna let Ermgerd go last. Yeah, this one's gonna do what he was told. He's gonna attack Eden. The normal opposed roll when they use fight is athletics. I believe, Sir Horseman, you might have a substitution or otherwise. Otherwise, you're making an athletics roll to try to dodge.
Yeah, I could use athletics. I'm not opposed to that. What my alternative? I would maybe be physique.
He's asking if you have a stunt for it, because otherwise.
Correct. Do you have a stunt for it?
Oh.
Otherwise, athletics is the roll you make by default.
Well, I don't have any stunts as of yet.
It's
so-
true, and you can have up to 3 of them for free. So if you want to be able to go, you know what? Every once in a while, when I get hit with an attack, instead of dodging it, I just power through. That is an option.
Oh, okay. My athletics is good enough. I don't feel like I really need to do that just yet. Well, I guess it depends on this roll. What am I? Oh, damn. 4?
Yeah, he actually rolled for the first time for me all session. He actually rolled pretty well. Yeah, I didn't roll a negative number this time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going for athletics here. Oh, I don't like that. Oh.
All right. Well, that means you're going to take 2 physical stress. Which what you can do is mark the 2 box on your stress track, or, which I wouldn't recommend this early in the fight, you can mark your mild consequence, which also absorbs 2 shifts. Stress goes away at the end of combat. Consequences do not. No, just the 2. Because each box that you have of stress, it absorbs that many shifts. So your 1 absorbs 1 shift,
Oh, okay.
your 2 absorbs 2 shifts, the 3 absorbs 3 shifts, and so on. So if you take another 2, you wouldn't be able to use just the 1 on that. You'd have to use either the 3 or your 4 or the mild consequence.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So now if you take, say, for example, like 6 shifts, then you could be like, all right, I've taken 6. I'm going to mark the 1, the 3, and then the mild consequence, and that adds up to 6.
Gotcha.
I take that back. I've been told you can only mark 1 stress track, so you'd have to mark the 4 and then take the mild consequence, if I believe that works. Or does the mild consequence still count as the stress track? Okay. Yeah, so if you were to take a 6, you'd have to mark your 4 under your physical stress, and then mark the mild consequence in order to absorb the whole thing. Now, of course, you have the option to use one of your aspects if you don't want to take that 2, but stress goes away. So it's a matter of juggling your aspects to protect yourself, to use your fate points either defensively or offensively, and then keeping track of your stress. Consequences also add things for you to do later on to get rid of them, because you have to do things to make them go away. They don't just disappear. Anyway, that's it for the tree folk. It's time for our sleepy little goblin, Ermgard.
No. So am I like awake?
No, you are still asleep. You were basically thrashing in your sleep while it was trying to drag you into the water.
Okay.
In order
so
to wake
can I,
up, it is a willpower roll.
Let's do it.
You just have to get a 1.
And I got 5.
Ermgard is awake. Apparently, that was not a nice dream.
No. Somebody called me ugly.
Because you succeeded on that with style, I'm going to actually let you take a turn. So it's not just you spend your turn waking up.
Okay. Well then, what am I close to? I'm looking at the map. I'm just moving my little.
You are there within within stabbing range are 3 of these tiny tree folk. They're about your size. You know,
Okay,
they're
I'm gonna
animated.
stab
It's animated
one.
wood. One of them is dragging your friend into the water. One of them is standing
Ooh.
right next to you. It looks like it had its grip on you. One of them just punched Eden. Like, you can see where he's got like a bruise where it hit him. And then
I
one of them
wanna
is
try to
throwing
get
rocks
the
at Jack.
one- I want to try to get the one that is trying to drag Beatrix into the water.
Excellent. All right. That one does also look like it's kind of falling apart compared to the other ones.
Nice.
So
Stab, stab, stab. And that's a... What roll?
it's fight.
Fight, fight, fight.
Yeah, it is aware of your
Like-
presence, so unfortunately you can't use the sneak attack substitution.
I got a 3.
All right, let's see. And I believe it got a 2. No, it got a 1. So you have
Yeah.
succeeded in striking the tree folk. Now here's the problem: it's made out of wood, and dirt and some other stuff. So you can tell you injured it because there's like notches in the wood and pieces of like dirt that have fallen off. But it doesn't seem like it hurt too much. Luckily for you, you didn't blunt your blade, so hooray!
Yay.
All right, now you get to pick who gets to go next on the first turn, or who gets to go first on the next round. Ugh.
Hmm. Um...
Which you could actually just pass it to yourself and stab again if you wanted to.
I could do that. Let's see. I might just do that. That sounds kind of fun. Sounds like something she would do. Let's do it again.
Second verse, same
I
as the
got a
first, huh?
0. Meow, meow.
And it got a 3. So yeah, you unfortunately are unable to stab it the second time. Or you do stab it, but you hit dirt, and it's like, I didn't hit anything solid. There's no way that did anything.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna pass it to. I'm trying to figure out which tree folk that was. So they can another tree folk just to get him out of the way.
Tree folk number 1 is the one you were just stabbing.
Okay.
Tree folk 2 is the one that was like grabbing, like you could tell was grabbing onto you. Number 3 is the one that's fighting Eden, and then the one that's not numbered is the one that's throwing rocks, uselessly throwing rocks. Oh, did you pick you picked the one you were stabbing? Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, I need another athletics roll from Beatrix.
Ooh, good one.
You got to beat a 5 to not get dragged into the water.
Can you do it?
No.
Oh, I thought that was Beatrix's roll.
Hey!
You got a 3. Now,
You're pretty close. I feel like you could probably do something.
you are once again at the point where you can choose to spend some fate to activate
An ass.
an aspect, or you can stay asleep as you get dragged back into the water.
Um. um, Okay, so what?
I was gonna say, I feel like you're agonizing over this for no reason.
No, I have a question. So if I use an aspect to tie, how does a tie work?
So in this particular case, the tie would give the tree folk a boost, which is essentially a +1 that it can use for a roll later on down the road, but it does not succeed at its action.
Okay. So would that mean that I am awake now, or am I just not being pulled into the water? And I can't try to wake up until my turn.
You are unfortunately not awake.
Okay.
You are just not being dragged into the water.
Okay. So the only one that I can really think of to use would be...
Also, you rolled will. You should have been rolling athletics for that. I believe your athletics is a little higher than your will.
Shit, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
What is your athletics bonus?
2.
It would have been 1 higher. Unfortunately, it still would have been a little short, but that does mean if you spend the fate point, you would actually win. You wouldn't get dragged into the water at all, and it wouldn't get the boost.
Then yeah, let's do. Do I need to actually roll athletics, or will?
No, I'm going to let you keep the roll. I'm just going to substitute the number.
Okay.
I just need to know which of your aspects is actually saving you in this particular case.
I mean, the only one that I can really think of is the fact that I'm an assassin and I have good instincts, and I would be able to fight somebody, like, even unconsciously trying to pull me somewhere I don't want to go.
That sounds...
I'd argue a lover's final gift, your blade catching on the ground.
You can do that too.
Or that, yeah, either one.
Yeah, mechanically, it makes no difference.
Yeah, mechanically it makes no difference, but I want you to remember that, this is a narrative story, so come up with cool things. Either way, it works, so go ahead and spend your fate point by hitting that little plus in your fate point actions. And I will go ahead and add the +1 just to remind myself that your roll was supposed to be 1 higher. So you managed not to get dragged into the water, as, a combination of things keeps you from being pulled. Why not? Eden! Ermgard's awake.
Ermgard's awake. That's good. Now we just have this problem with Beatrix getting dragged into the water. I'd like to finish off this last tree folk that's kind of like on death's door. I assume. I hope.
You're gonna try and unmake the one you attacked before?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and just like crumple it in on itself, essentially.
Okay.
Just
go ahead and give me that magecraft.
It's wood. Sure. Oh, I kind of like that. I like that. Oh, I like that.
Okay. So that means it has to take 6 shifts. It does not actually have a way to absorb 6 shifts. So you managed to turn it into a pile of into a ball of wood when all of the dirt goes, like, essentially explodes out of it, sprinkling around harmlessly in the area.
Yes, I'm happy with this. Great. Let's see here. Tree folk 1 is gone. That's the one that was dragging
Correct.
Beatrix into the water, right?
Yep. So at the moment, Beatrix is no longer being dragged.
Great. Let's see if they can wake up.
Beatrix! Now you make that willpower roll. Now you need a 1.
And you do it. God damn it.
0. Beatrix continues to sleep unless...
She's gonna continue to sleep just because it's really funny at this point.
Taking a nap.
Alright, who are you giving it to next?
Oh, damn, I forgot that I have to do that. One of the tree folk.
All right, it's the one that has been attacking Janik. You know what? It's gonna throw another rock at you. It's dumb.
It is not the brightest creature.
It's got a 2 though.
Okay, let's see what I can manage with that fun shielding man. I successed. No.
You successed. Yeah, this time it actually would have hit you if not for the shield. So congratulations.
Yeah. I mean, if I rolled poorly enough, it could have hit me with a -1. That's the super fun. Actually, no, it couldn't have. Even -4 would have had me at a 0. Never mind.
You know what? Nah, I'm not doing that. Never mind. I'm going to pass over to. I'm going to pass over to the Forest Guardian. So, Beatrix, I am going to invoke your trouble. You are a targeted creature. People have you targeted all the time. It draws, whether or not you believe it, it actually draws metaphysical attention to you too. So, what's going to happen from here, since you're asleep, the Forest Guardian is going to try to use his magic to make you sleepwalk into the pool.
Cool.
Now, you can choose to take a fate point to just get up and walk in there yourself while still being asleep. Or you can gain a fate point. You can gain a fate point and then just get up and sleepwalk your way into the pool. Or you can spend a fate point and stay on the ground asleep. Since I am invoking your trouble aspect.
Um.
This is going to be his entire turn, is trying to basically puppet master you into the water.
Oh, is it worth it to get that fate point back?
I mean, we still got a bit of a session ahead of us.
This is true. Yeah, I'm gonna take the fate point and I'm gonna walk into the water myself.
Of fucking course you are.
Yep. So the satyr starts singing, at which point Beatrix gets up from the ground, and it very much looks like a marionette, walks into the water, and then floats slightly away from the staircase.
It's so refreshing in here.
Hooray. So refreshing. You know what, Janik, you're next.
Okay. Well, I looked it up. If you succeed on styling it with the defense, you do in fact get a boost.
Nice. So you have a boost, which is, if I remember correctly, a +1?
No,
Right.
it is a temporary aspect that lasts exactly as long as it takes to use it.
Oh, cool.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm going to, fire back at this thing that keeps throwing rocks at me. How dare this clump of dirt, keep attacking me? Complete
It's
nonsense.
pretty ugly.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is
Pretty
unacceptable.
ugly. Ugly behavior.
Now, you're using, I'm assuming, some kind of necromantic fire?
Oh yeah, no, it's just straight death magic, straight down at it. And I'm gonna go ahead and use that boost and say that it's frustrated, and therefore does not.
One second. It looks like he died again. It's so weird that Fallout was nothing, and then all of a sudden with this, he's freezing.
Okay, I return. This is very annoying, and I'm already sick of it. Anyways, so like I was saying, I'm gonna go ahead and use the boost, saying that it's it's throwing a tree tantrum because it can't hit me with a rock. It's not paying enough attention, giving me an 8 to its 0.
Right, and it can't absorb that. So you set it on fire, and it crisps. You have a nice, cheery little eerie green campfire.
Everybody loves campfires. All right. And the only options left are one of the tree folk, so one of the tree folk it shall be.
All right. This one has been tasked with dragging Irmgard into the water. Irmgard is awake, therefore he must He must put her back to sleep by knocking her unconscious.
Hmm.
So that means that Irmgard needs to make a athletics roll, and it apparently is not doing super well at punching. It was not expecting to be fought back.
Well, I only got a 1.
Can you get an invoke for something to make it higher?
Well, with a tie, nothing's going to happen for with a tie. Nothing immediately happens to Irmgard because it's a tie.
Cool. That I'm just being a scrappy little goblin.
Scrappy indeed. All right. So that's it for that tree folk, as it is going to continue to attempt to knock you unconscious. And finally, the tree folk that's been attacking Eden, that has had some luck, is going to punch Eden. Because why not? With also having a 1.
All right, come on, baby.
You can
Dodge.
do it.
Dodge.
Dodge indeed.
Yep, there was no Pavlovian response there. So the three folks at the end of the round, we're going to go over to Beatrix. Beatrix!
Yes.
You're drowning.
Okay, so you're in the water.
I am.
Unfortunately, that means that you now have to make a willpower roll of 2 to wake up.
Okay. I got a 0.
You remain asleep.
What is
Unless you
up
want to
with-
invoke an aspect.
The dice hate me. No, we're gonna play this out.
Just head down, just blub 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 blub.
I like to think I'm floating on my back.
That's not the point of this pool.
Oh right, I need to pick. Armguard.
Yes. I want to kick something, stab something. I don't think
Oh,
biting would work really well.
There is a tree folk that's trying to punch you.
Well, I want to punch it back. I'm gonna punch it back.
Right, that is a fight roll.
Three.
Now that is a tie. The benefit for you is it gives you a boost for one of your rolls. It has a boost from the tie it got when it tried to fight you. So a boost is basically like a free aspect of, you know what, this is appropriate for, because you were attacking. I could use its boost for its defense, but I'm not going to. It's basically a free +2 you can use for a related roll that only lasts for that one roll.
Mm-hmm.
So unlike
Okay.
aspects you would create by creating an advantage, this is one of those, like, I have a stored up +2 that I can use for free. So you have a boost. There's a place in the tracker to keep track of the number of boosts you have.
Yeah, there I see it. Boop.
And
Got it.
you can choose to move, because I believe movement, you get one free, like you can do a zone change for free, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
As long as nothing's like stopping.
Yeah, it's too dumb to try and stop you from running away if you want to get some distance.
Yeah, I want to move away a little bit. Over this way.
That's fine. That would mean you're no longer in close combat. You can move back into close combat on your next turn if you want to, but
Yeah,
that'll
I'll do
keep it
that,
from.
probably
Yeah.
That's my
All right.
idea, is to try to like get them to not hit me. Okay, who's gonna go next? It's gonna be which one's? It's a tree folk. I'm looking which one's near tree folk.
The only ones that are left are 2 and 3. The other 2 are
Probably
down.
two. I accidentally made my screen very small and I cannot get it to go big again.
Did you try zooming out? Depending on what you mean by you made it very small.
It's because I'm on a Mac and it just did something funny. I fixed it.
Well, you pick the tree folk that you've been fighting, and its entire job is to get you into the water. You've given yourself some distance from the water, so if it does manage to knock you out, it's not going to be able to just drag you in quickly.
Perfect.
But it's going to move towards you and then try to punch you again. Oop, help if I hit the right button. Its fight is only 1 higher, so its fight is a 1. Let me just give myself the +1 to remember that. And I'm going to go ahead and use its boost now, because it has one, for slightly better punchings. So far, if you don't use an aspect or use your own boost, it will do 1 shift of damage to you.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my. How do I do? I just
So what is your plan here? What are you thinking about doing?
I want to attack back if it's trying to get me, like do a defensive move.
Well, attacking would mean you'd have to wait for your turn.
Yeah, sure. Maybe just getting
At this
away.
point, what you're looking at is you can either use your boost to basically give yourself a free +2, because basically you attacked it then backed off, so you're forcing it to engage on your on your terms. So you could use that gives you a free +2, which means you win. You could choose to invoke one of your aspects, which obviously costs a fate point. And it also gives you a +2, which means you win. Or you can choose to do nothing, which means you would take 1 physical stress.
I'm gonna go with option number 1 and use my boost.
Okay. Under the free actions, hit the little plus. That should automatically consume the boost that you have, and adjust your roll. Did you hit the +1 or did you hit the actual plus sign?
I hit the +1.
Yeah, you should hit the plus sign. Sorry.
Oh,
The +1s are
oops.
for other things. That's all right.
I apologize. Again,
No
brain
problem.
spaghetti.
I got it. It's fine. Either way, you're still either way, you are still able to prevent yourself from being injured. Not getting hit by a piece of wood that's coming at you at a fairly significant speed.
Bam.
All right, tree folk. It doesn't automatically remove the dead ones from the popcorn initiative.
Mm.
So I'm going to go ahead and pick the dead ones to get them out of the way. All right, the dead ones are gone. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it to the Forest Guardian now. The Forest Guardian is going to make a Magecraft roll in order to restart the death magic of the pool in order to consume Beatrix's life force.
Well, shit.
Yeah, so this is
Yeah.
opposed by your will.
Okay.
He's got a 4. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and
No,
get a
she
1.
can't.
So he's succeeding with style. Oof. I'm going to go ahead and use his aspect to give him a +2. That'll mean you have to take 5 shifts
Oh my god.
Whoa.
of mental stress, by the way.
This would get Beatrix. God damn it.
So in this particular case, there's 3 ways you can go about doing this.
Okay.
The most efficiently. You
Okay.
can mark your 3 box on your mental stress, and then take a mild consequence. You can mark the 1 box on your mental stress, and then take a moderate consequence, or you can take a severe consequence. I named them in that order because they are in order from least damaging to most damaging. Mild consequences can actually be taken care of within a couple of scenes, usually 1 or 2. Moderate consequences, you're talking several sessions. A severe consequence is the end of a major story arc before it disappears.
Okay. So I'm gonna mark the 3 on my mental stress and then the mild consequence. Is that
Excellent. So now we have to come up with a name for your mild consequence.
okay?
Because it is essentially a negative aspect you have to deal with now
Okay.
until you get it fixed.
Okay.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you. I'm going to make some suggestions, but you're the final arbiter because this is your character
Okay.
as to what you want to use. One of the thoughts that I have is you can have, because your character's asleep, and this is death magic that's literally trying to claim your soul. So, visions of death, I think, is a good one.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
All right, so you can write that in under mild consequence that you have visions of death.
Okay.
That means that death causes weird things for you until that gets fixed. It's kind of like having PTSD, but in this case, it's kind of mild.
All right.
And let's go ahead and pass it to Janik. There's been some death magic.
It's true, there has, and he's trying to steal Beatrix's soul, and that's just not cool. If anyone's getting her soul, it's me. This is inappropriate. So, since I've dealt with my little friend, I'm gonna go ahead and, attack the Forest Guardian. Boop, boop, boop. Come on, computer, work with me. Against. Oop. Not amazing. As I call forth terrible necrotic magic to attack and wound the spirit of the Forest Guardian.
Like, so you're actually doing a mental attack, not a physical attack, like you were doing on the.
Correct.
All right, cool. So that means he gets to use his will instead of his other rolls.
Amazing. With that being said, you said that he activated the death magic in the pond?
Yes, he did.
Would that be a situational aspect that I, as a necromancer, could take advantage of to empower my terrible, terrible magics?
So, something I want to point out to the players in case they've forgotten, you can see the scene aspects through the tracker, the fate utilities. It is under the little book icon. So, Enchanted Glade essentially allows you to use the glade as a focus for magic. This one specifically is designed for nature magic and death magic. But theoretically, because it's an enchanted glade, you could use it to empower any magic.
I'm hearing a yes.
I am, in fact, saying yes.
Excellent. So add a +2 there. And then, could I argue fledgling death cult leader? I am sending death magic straight at this person who has dared to try and usurp one of my flock, whether she realizes it or not.
Yeah, you know what? I'll allow it.
Excellent. Then I'll take the free invoke from that. Dude, put me at a 7. So he's going to have to take 5 mental shifts.
Yeah. So one of the situational aspects here is this is the home of the Guardian. This is his turf. So I'm going to invoke the home of the Guardian aspect for him.
Sure, I guess.
Which is going to reduce those shifts. And then I'm going to invoke one of his own personal aspects, which I'm not going to say what it is because, well, you know what I'm going to say it. He's got a satyr's physiology, which means he's resistant to magic. That's going to take up another one of my my fate points for the scene, but that means he's only going to take 1 shift.
Fine, I guess.
1 shift of mental stress. But hey, you used up a lot of my fate points.
Yes, I did. I believe half of them that you had in total.
Correct. I get a number of fate points per scene based on the number of players that are available, which means in any given scene I have 4.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. You know what? I'm gonna make the tree folk go next. That gives Eden the last turn, so he'll get to pick the next round start. That seems smart. So the last tree folk gets to go.
Last tree folk
Yeah, number 3.
is going to keep doing what it was commanded to do, which is punch Eden.
I believe in you, Eden. Prance away. Oh my god.
Oh.
Come
I
on.
feel like I literally can't do worse, but we'll see.
You beat him by 3. That means you succeed with style and get a boost.
Yes, indeed. You prance away as, you know, you're finally getting
Big
used to
jump.
the timing of this thing's attacks. So, Horseman has a boost for combat. I love that. I rolled a -4. That's hooray.
You're doing a great job, buddy. Way to go, Horseman.
Speaking of, Horseman, you're last on the initiative this round.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
So, just as a refresher, this
Beatrix is in the water. She should not be in the water.
Beatrix is in the water. Death magic flared. You don't know what happened, but you know it was bad. Janik launched an attack on the satyr, who seems no real worse for wear. There's 2 tree folk left. One of them's fighting Ermgard. One of them's fighting you.
Um. How pressing is Beatrix? Is she gonna die?
I mean, she's face down in the water.
Turns. Next few turns.
Depends on how poorly she rolls, really.
It looks like she might be starting to sink.
Nope.
Okay.
You can tell because you're a
Okay.
mage, and
Do
there's
I
nature magic in
go
the
after
area.
Beatrix?
Her life force is diminished, but not by a lot.
Right. Okay. So I have Beatrix. I can maybe start an assault against the Forest Guardian, because if we get rid of the Forest Guardian, all of this goes away. I can fight the tree folk that's trying to fuck me up. I'm gonna let Ermgard probably deal with the tree folk that's trying to fuck her up.
Now, one of the things I want to point out, I brought this up earlier, just to kind of remind you, and it's something that Kit and I have talked about in terms of movement. The you are currently in essentially the medium range zone with the satyr. So it only really takes you because you can move one zone per round. So you can move into close range with the satyr as part of your movement. Something to consider since you are a satyr. Sorry, not a satyr, a centaur. One of the options you might look into is the ability to take a stunt that allows you to move two zones instead. It's only useful in combat, but it's one of those things that you know what, I don't want to be here, or I do want to be here, or I want to be over there.
I do like the idea that because I am a horseman, I can move places pretty quickly. So I do like the idea of that stunt for sure.
So it is something you can take up, add to your stunt list. That essentially would allow you to, if you wanted to, you could actually move in, kick the satyr, and then move out of close combat with the satyr. It gives you the ability to do that because you can move
There's
two
a
zones
move
per
in
turn.
Fire Emblem that is just like that. It's called Canter. Anyway. Okay, I really like that idea. Okay. What is if I kick the satyr in the face? That would be using my fight, correct?
Yes.
Correct. Now, here's the thing. You can also run up to him and use your magic to hit him with a stone fist. And that would count as
Magecraft.
a magecraft attack, but it's still something you have to be in close range to do.
Okay. Giving me ideas. Okay.
Punch him in his smug face. He's so smug.
Yeah, he is. I'm kind of worried about Beatrix. Anyway, I'm going to do exactly what you suggested. I am going to run up to Mr. Satyr-Man, and I'm going to summon some dirt and stone that will harden around one of my fists with my nature magic, and I'm going to try to smack him square in the jaw.
All right.
No, that's bad. Okay. I'd like to spend a fate point to make that a higher roll. But I guess I should wait to see what you roll in response to
Always
this.
a great idea.
He might get that, -4 again. I was close.
Okay. Man. Perfect. I have a boost, right?
You do, in fact, have a boost. So you can spend that boost to give yourself essentially a free invoke, which is the plus sign under free actions, to give yourself that +2.
Yep, and then you can still spend as many fate points as you want.
Yeah.
Tag aspects.
Maybe get him higher.
Yep.
I don't know if I really have any aspects. I mean, I have no. Well, I have Champion of Nature. I could say that. I can use that as an aspect to say that, because I'm using nature magic, I am more powerful. You also mentioned that we're in a magical forest, which means that my nature magic is heightened.
True, you're also the acolyte of nature's revenge. It's trying to eat one of your friends, essentially.
Yeah, so you could
Yeah.
you get the free one off your title and then spend to get the enchanted glade like I did. And I'll give you another 4.
On top
So
of
I
the
get okay. So I get a free action for the boost, right? A free +2.
right, you
right?
get a free +2. Yes,
Okay. Now
and then
I
you can
get
use your
another
acolyte of
free
nature's revenge
invoke,
for free. Right,
and that's another +2.
correct.
All right, we're at 6. Okay. Okay.
Now, if you wanted to, you can spend a fate point to use that champion of nature as well.
Yeah, why not? I'll use one more. Why not? That's a lot of shifts that he has to take. So
Correct.
Yep, that is 6 he has to soak somehow.
Is in fact 6 that he has to soak somehow. And this is all physical stress.
Yep.
oh, I messed up and did another free invoke. I don't know. I can
That's
prove-
fine. I can just take the fate point away on the utility. There we go. All right. So you hit him really hard, and the sound of breaking bones is pretty obvious as he gets hit, slides back a couple of feet, but remains on his feet.
Did he have to take a consequence for it?
He did, in fact.
Cool. Then that means Eden gets a free invoke on that consequence for having created it.
Correct. The consequence is broken ribs.
With his crunchy
Okay.
bones.
You punched him so hard, you broke some ribs.
Great. It is my turn. And you know what?
Gonna go again. Second verse, same as
I'm
the
gonna
first.
go for round 2, baby.
Heck yeah.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Did I accidentally pick Ermgard as the person?
Yeah, you
I think I
did. You picked me.
Well, it's Ermgard's turn then.
Damn it!
Hey,
I meant
you messed it up.
to
Don't
pick
worry, I can pick
myself.
you.
No, go back. Go back.
You ruined it.
It could have been really cool.
I switched it. If you can still hit it.
No, it
I went back.
says it's my turn now.
What did you do?
I put back. I thought you said go back.
No.
Oh my god! I thought that's what. I pressed the back button.
Don't hit the back button.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I messed it up. I ruined everything. You tripped me
It's
up.
okay.
You can't say
think
things
we-
like that to me.
I think we need some GM intermission.
I'm a little
It's simple
cheated right
enough.
now.
It's simple enough. Let me do something here. 1, 2,
Nice.
3. All right.
Amazing.
I told y'all I was sleepy.
So is it actually my turn or?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
We're sorting it out.
I might have to.
I mean, you could just start the round over, start, and then just put Eden at the top. 'Cause that's
That's what I'm gonna
effectively
do.
where we were.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, Eden, it's your turn.
No, it still has Ermgard showing they have the turn.
What?
You ruined everything.
Well, How about we just have Eden take his turn and then say the next person is Ermagard?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
There's
that
ways around that.
works.
Great.
Alright,
Great.
Eden do stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch him again with my rock fist. And hopefully I get a better roll than last time. And then I don't have to spend as many fate points.
Let's find out.
Did you have something to say?
I was gonna say you did a decent amount of damage last time, but it is. Go ahead, roll an attack.
No.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Dodges it.
Well, don't forget, you still have the free invoke from breaking his ribs. That can get you a +2 without having to spend for anything. After that, you gotta start spending some fate points, though.
It's very true.
It might be worthwhile, if only so he doesn't get a free boost out of it.
Yeah, okay. I get the free invoke. It brings me up to a 4. And then I would need to spend another fate point.
Yeah, that would put you at 1. You can also choose to just let it go where you lose this round, but he doesn't get anything for it. Other than not getting hurt.
Oh, right, because he doesn't get the boost. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. That's good.
Alright. Now it's Ermagard.
Now it's Ermagard's turn.
No,
Ermagard.
great. Okay, so
Stab a tree.
One of
I'm
the
gonna
trees is
stab
still
the
trying to
tree.
punch you.
I'm gonna stab it. You gotta do what you gotta do. Let's go. Let's see what we got.
Oh no.
Didn't do well.
It did worse.
But they did
It
worse.
did worse.
You can choose to increase that number if you want to spend some fate points.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's increase the number. Doop.
Now, one of the things we're looking at is there's not a lot of your aspects that help against things that aren't people, except maybe takes what she wants, because you want to survive, and this thing's trying to kill you.
It's true. I would like to survive. So
There's also
live
the
to
fact
kill
that you're a
another
killer
day.
goblin, so
Yeah, I want to survive so I can live to kill another day. That is my main goal in this situation. I don't want to die, especially by something that is arguably uglier than me.
arguably.
Arguably. So that seems...
All right, it's gonna go ahead and take that physical stress. Poor tree. He's been stabbed.
Alright.
Okay, Ermgard.
Sucks to suck.
Pass the turn to Eden, and then we'll have Eden pass it to whoever you want to give it to.
Oakley dokley. I'm trying to pass it. I'm being weird. Sorry. It doesn't let me... Unless I... No, it doesn't let me pick Eden.
Okay, well then who did you want to pass it to?
Yeah, go ahead and pick who you want to pass it to.
There you go.
Okay. It's Birdman's turn.
It's Birdman's turn.
It's the time of the bird. Well,
Bird's the word.
bird is in fact the word. Eden just powdered this satyr's rib cage, so I guess I'll help out with that. This is a forest. It's a murder forest, a murder glade, if you will. I'm sure there are plenty of bones and dead things that I can animate to strike forth at this satyr. So let's give me that magecraft. Boop. All right. Starting at a 3. Right.
And you're attacking him with bones from the ground, I assume.
Yes. I don't
There
know.
are, in fact, like the remains of animals and other things.
I will reanimate a particularly vicious raccoon. I don't know. Feared by all lesser mammals in the area until his dying day. You son of a bitch!
I mean, he's apparently used to dodging animals, so when the raccoon animates and jumps at him, he just kind of leans off to one side.
Hmm. You. Alright. I'd have to blow too many fate points worthwhile. Okay. Sure, why not? Forest Guardian.
Cool.
Live that best forest life.
Yeah, he's more worried about killing your friend that's in the water than fighting you guys at the moment.
That is a weird
So-
priority, but okay.
It is, but, you know, at the moment, he can more reliably eat her soul than fight you guys.
Keep telling you, that's mine.
So I need a willpower roll from Beatrix to avoid that soul slurping.
Okay.
Well, that's 2 more mental stress for you.
Can I use a fate point to bump that up to a 3 to at least tie?
If you use a fate point, it does in fact bump you up. Though, which
Aspect.
aspect are you planning on using?
Shit.
Didn't think that far.
I didn't think that far, no.
So there's a really easy one that you can use that
Okay.
is connected to death in your set of aspects.
That I'm a killer? Or that I'm an
No.
assassin? No?
No, it's connected to death when you really think about it.
I mean, the only other one that I can think of is my lover's final gift because he's dead.
Right. Do you think he wants you to die without succeeding at your goal?
I mean, maybe he's a dick and he wants me to die so I can be with him. You don't know.
Are you?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so that's what I would like to use.
Okay. So that's fine. You can do that. Go ahead and spend your fate point.
Okay.
Woo.
Now, he gets a free boost because that's a tie. Unfortunately, not too many of your other aspects will help you in this situation.
Yeah, I know.
But he doesn't keep murdering you.
It's true. He
Excellent.
does not get to eat more of your soul. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Beatrix. You're still asleep. Please make me that willpower roll to wake up.
Damn it.
I hope you just stay asleep this
Oh
whole
my
game.
Still, you rolled notice, by the way, instead of willpower.
Shit. Okay, sorry. Okay, let me do that.
Your willpower's a +1. It's fine.
I got a 2 when I rolled my willpower. Or do you just want to... That's fine.
You know what? I'll let you have it.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. Just take the notice with the +1. It's fine.
I'll let you have it. It's fine.
No, it's fine. I can
You're
stay asleep and die.
Is Beatrix finally awake?
We're
Beatrix is
negotiating
finally
that.
awake. Well, Beatrix is spending this round waking up. So that basically is going to take up your turn, is waking up.
Random tree folk.
Random tree folk. Its job has been to attack Eden. It can't move as fast as Eden. So it's going to move closer, and then it's going to throw a rock at him. You got a 1.
I'm still using athletics to dodge.
Correct.
Throw a rock.
It apparently throws wide. It's not good at these things are not good at throwing rocks. So that would be it for that one. And then the tree folk that's been trying to punch Ermgard is going to punch Ermgard again.
Ugh. Get a life, freak.
Ooh, got a 4.
Let me go
They're
against
at the end
it.
now, though. They can mess us up.
Oh,
Ooh, that's going to hurt. That is 4 physical stress. Now you can, if you have an aspect you think you can use for this to make it better for you to dodge, you can make me an offer.
I don't think I have anything. So I have like takes what I want. I got the good. Nothing seems to really.
Unfortunately, sometimes that is the case. So
Yeah.
you have to mark 4 physical stress. You
I only have 2.
well, okay. So you can only mark 1 stress box. So you have 2 options here. Well, you have 3. And I'm going to go from the least damaging to the most damaging. You can mark that 2 stress box you have for physical stress, and then take a mild consequence. You can take a moderate consequence, which covers everything, or, which I highly don't recommend you do this, you can take a severe consequence.
I think I'll do a moderate consequence.
Ooh, that's going to take a few sessions to get rid of. But that does mean that's something your character's focused on in order to heal. I feel like I either want to do something like because I gave him broken bones as a moderate consequence, so we can do that for you. Or alternatively, we can do something like a facial wound.
Well, she already has a scar on her face. We could always do another one.
It's true.
Facial.
You could always do another one. A facial wound means it'll take some time. It does make you more recognizable. Stuff like that.
And you'd rather take this this moderate consequence than just 2 stress and a mild consequence?
Well, I only have 2, right? So I'd be out, wouldn't I?
No, you would only mark the 2 box. The 2 box reduces it by 2, and then you would take the mild consequence to reduce it to 0.
I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Again, brain.
You're only knocked out when you can't mark a stress box because everything's already filled.
Oh.
Like if you had another,
if you do that.
Yeah, if you took 2 stress again, since your 2 box is already filled, you can't. It would normally flow over into the 3 spot. If you don't have a 3 spot, you're out of the fight.
Okay. Then let's do that one. Let's do the. I'm gonna mark a physical stress, and then.
Okay, so you have the 2 stress box, the mild consequence. We'll say you have a bleeding wound. It's not necessarily on the face, but it is something that can be healed pretty easily. So, under mild consequence, you're just going to type in bleeding wound. It does mean that the tree folk gets to use it against you once for free. And I believe that's the bottom.
It is.
Yep.
You know what? He's gonna go again. He's gonna take another turn and punch Armguard again. And he's gonna get a 3. So we need another athletics roll from Armguard.
Rolling.
Rolling.
And I got
Ooh.
a 0.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and use that bleeding wound against you to make it a 5.
Oh my god.
That means, if I remember correctly, Ermgard can take the severe consequence or just be like, I'm out.
I
Kit,
guess I'm just
remind
gonna
me.
say I'm out.
Basically, if you don't take the severe consequence and you don't have the stress box to mark to get rid of it, you have lost the combat, and narrative control over what happens to you goes to whoever won. So, in this case, Grim, as our GM, would decide what happens to you to take you out of the combat.
Well, wait,
Wait.
doesn't she have one more physical
I have
stress
one
box
more.
and then
G-
moderate
it doesn't
consequence?
the
Ah,
I
right.
only have
But
one.
she does have the one stress box and a moderate consequence. So
Oh,
she
then
could
yeah.
mark both of those.
Okay,
I thought
so
I
I can
thought you
do
took the
that.
moderate
Let's
earlier.
do that. No, I was
Ah.
going to. Well, now I guess I have to. So the
Gotcha.
wound is worse.
Well, your bleeding wound stays.
Yeah.
At this point, we're going to say you probably do have broken bones.
Okay.
Now, one of the things you can do, now that you've taken this, you do have the option to concede. Conceding gives you a fate point back, and that means that I have to be more lenient as to your final end at the juncture of the combat, because you've chosen to concede. That also removes you from the rest of combat, though.
I don't want to, but I think it's the best choice because I don't want to die.
Death isn't necessarily what I would choose if you
Well,
lose, but it
I don't
is.
want to lose a limb.
So okay, so if you're choosing to remove yourself from combat, we'll go ahead and give you a fate point back, and
She actually gets 3 fate points.
3.
Oh,
You get 1 for
wow.
conceding, and then 1 for each consequence you've taken in the conflict. So since she took
I-
2 consequences, she gets 3 fate points.
Yeah, and
that as
there's
soon as the scene's over, she can start using.
yeah,
Oh, neat.
yeah, that can take you past your refresh number, by the way. So if you have, say, for example,
Cool.
2, you would get 3. That would put you up to 5 fate points.
Okay, cool. At least I have that. Even though I am a flop right now. My flop era.
You're probably Soup's unconscious now.
Soup's
Yeah.
unconscious, which means, not necessarily good things. Why not? Beatrix, you have come to. You're in the water. You feel very tired. Like, not just like, it's not a refreshing sleep anymore. Like, that was like a bad bender sleep. And you just watched your goblin friend go down as a little, like, wooden tree person just punched her so hard she hit the ground. And she's not exactly getting back up.
Well, now I'm angry. I'm cold, I'm wet, I'm tired, and my friend just went down. Would I be able to climb out of the water and hit the tree? Or would I only be able to do one of... I can do both of those? Okay. Yeah, I would like to get out of the water.
Yeah, you would basically move the one zone to go from medium range to close range.
I guess it's this one?
Yeah, and then you can use your actual action to attack.
Yeah, I want to... I don't know if stabbing or punching would be better.
Either or.
Either way, it's a fight roll.
Okay.
It is unaware that you're awake, by the way.
Oh, can I use my sneak attack?
Yes.
Sweet. So do I roll? I roll it from the stunt, right? I don't roll it from the skill. Is that right?
No, you roll it from this. Actually, you can roll it from the stun, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm gonna sneak up behind it and stab it in its stupid tree face or whatever.
It's tree bod.
Okay, did that work right? Holy crap,
It
I rolled
did.
an 8. Holy shit.
You finally did something.
I did!
That's mean.
Well, you have 6 shifts. Don't bother spending any more because it doesn't have a way to absorb 6 shifts.
Okay.
So you run up behind it, use your sword, and cut it in half. And it just kind of slumps to the ground.
And then I am
Wooden
gonna...
pieces everywhere.
Good little bastard. And then I guess I'm gonna pass it to Eden.
I'm gonna keep trying to knock the daylights out of this, satyr boy. With my rock fists.
More punchings.
More punchings. Come on.
I mean,
It's a tie. That gives you a boost.
or you can spend.
Or you can spend and get some damage on him.
I can't see his sheet, can I? Okay.
No, but you do know he still has broken
He
ribs.
has to have. That's a moderate consequence.
Correct. It still only gives you a +2 if you choose to invoke it.
But I have to spend a fate point to do that?
Correct.
Correct.
You got to use it once for free because you put it there, and then after that you got to pay for it.
Now, you can choose to leave things as they are. That gives you a boost for your next turn, which is basically a free +2. Yeah.
Okay. If I wait till the next turn, I have the boost, the broken ribs, and then I can spend, right?
Well, you still have to spend to activate the broken ribs. You've already activated them once.
Oh.
Yeah. But the boost is basically a free +2. So if you leave the results as they are, you have a boost for your next turn. Well, you have a boost going forward, which you can also use to defend yourself. And that boost is basically, I have this floating +2 I can use. So if you roll really well, you can choose to get the +2 there.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it as it is, I suppose.
So far, nobody's rolled, except for me, nobody's rolled terrible enough where I'm like, you should re-roll that.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have to re-roll.
No, you rolled a 0, so there's... you could get a better roll, but with a 0, you could also get a worse roll.
Yeah.
You would be
I'm cool
taking
just
the
leaving it
risk.
as it is for now. And
Excellent. All right, so
hopefully
you...
being able to
Okay.
complete
Who
this
is
in the
next?
future. Oh right. Okay.
There aren't too many choices.
There are not,
Lots.
and I don't want to. I don't really want to backload, so I'm gonna go for a Guardian.
Okay, Forest Guardian. The Forest Guardian no longer has an easy target to try to kill, so he's going to attack Eden. In fact, one of the things he's going to do is he's going to try and put you to sleep.
Great.
So this is going to be his Magecraft versus your will, as he tries to put you to sleep.
Damn it.
So, luckily for you, that doesn't actually put you to sleep. It does make you drowsy. So he's basically creating an advantage for himself on you, where you have the negative aspect drowsy, which he can use for free once. That's his turn. Janik.
Well, speaking of attempting to create advantages, I'm gonna do that. Let's go ahead and say I can get me. There's snakes in forest. Let's get a bunch of snake bones because those are as disturbing as possible. And we're gonna see if we can't raise them and have them come and slither around our special forest guardian friend to tie him down and hopefully allow Eden to just fucking trample the motherfucker.
So you were going to make bone restraints.
Yes, I am trying to restrain him with bone restraint. Snakes because it's fun and thematic. Ah, yeah, 7's pretty good. Yeah.
You beat him with style, so that means you're going to get 2 free invokes, and you can keep one, hand one over, hand them both over.
Yeah. This is gonna go great. Alright. In turn, I have no option. It is the tree folk.
The last tree folk that is awake. His target is attacking the satyr, and they're dumb because they only do what they're told. So
I got one job.
he's got one job, and that's deal with Eden.
Mm-hmm.
So we need an athletics roll from Eden as the dumb tree folk walks up and tries to punch you again. Oh, that's a success with style. That's another boost.
Style, baby.
Yes, add it to the pile.
Yes, and boost. By the way, there's no limit to the number of boosts you can use, as long as you have them, because they're a one-shot deal. And you have 2 boosts right now.
Yes, he is last though. So let's see who he picks.
You know what? I'm going to front load some bad guys this time because there's only 2 of them left. So we're going to give the tree folk another turn, and he's going to try and punch you again.
Okay. Roll. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I got another 2.
Now I have to roll fat.
Success.
Well, it's a success. You take no damage, which is good. It's not another free boost for you.
Yeah,
I
was gonna say I was hoping for another boost, but
since I'm front loading bad guys, we're gonna go ahead and have the Forest Guardian go next, and we're gonna go ahead and have him create another advantage. What he's gonna do is create quicksand under your feet, or at least attempt to. So in this particular case, you're going to need to make another willpower roll to try to resist the effects of his
if
magic.
he's
Actually, no, it'd be
if
athletics.
he's
Excuse me.
quicksand- Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like I would like be able to try and dodge this, right?
Yeah,
Ooh.
he's got a 4. Versus your 3, that's going to give him yet another free aspect against you, as
Alright.
he's
Got like some
wait,
boosts
hold on,
saved
hold
up.
on.
You do have some boosts. You do have some boosts, so you can use them.
Okay. If if we do go along with this, what was the finishing of your thought going to be there for like what happens to me?
You're basically now standing in quicksand, so you have basically poor footing. You're also drowsy, so he's got 2 aspects he can invoke against you for free, which kind of counteract your boosts. But bone restraints could also be used. Since that is one of those things that is around because he is restrained. So there's I was just pointing out like what temporary aspects are currently floating around.
Okay, I'm gonna use one of my boosts to edge him out on this. I think.
Okay. So that'll put you down to 1 boost. Go ahead and hit that free +2. I'm going to go ahead and have him use his free aspect of you being drowsy, which means your reaction speed is down. So he's still winning.
But it did burn his free use of drowsy.
It did
one
burn
of
his free use of
things-
drowsy.
One of his
Yeah.
things is gone.
It ends up being a wash in the end. That's it for his turn. I am going to. I'm debating if I want to be nice or mean. If I want to be mean, I'm giving Eden the next turn. You know what? Eden's going next.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Okay. Can I do something to like counteract his magic that he's trying to do on me with like the quicksand? I'm
Yeah,
also thinking like,
you would do an
can I
overcome
use my
to
physique? Yeah. Okay. I could do that, or I could just try to punch him again, I guess. Then that, and even if I do get out of the quicksand, that doesn't take away the free action that he has against me, right?
Well, if
No.
you overcome it, you basically are like, I'm no longer being affected by this.
Yeah.
So he won't be able to use that.
Right.
The like lost footing thing. Okay. What would I roll for that? I feel like magecraft to like kind of counteract it, or like physique to pull myself out of like
I mean, both of
stomp
those
out
make
of the
sense to me.
quicksand.
Yeah, both of them do make sense. You can use physique to overcome any obstacles that require the application of brute force. So just brute forcing your way out of the quicksand, your character is basically strong enough to just be like, I'm just going to jump out.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go with that. God, what is up? Is this going to be contested by anything? Your magecraft, probably.
It's opposed by magecraft, yes. Hooray. So you are unfortunately still in the quicksand. You still have a free boost you can use to try and get out of it, because you do have, essentially what the boost is you have a bit of an edge during the combat. And by using it, you're giving up that edge to give yourself that moment of, for that higher dice roll.
If I use my boost now, you will use one of your things to bring it back up, and you'll still win. And it'll be the same thing that we did last turn. And I don't want to do that.
There are bonuses and negatives to doing that. Negatives means you no longer have the boost, but the bonuses are he no longer has the free invoke. The free invoke is much more situational than your boost, but that also denies him the potential use of the aspect for free. Because remember, same as you. I'm limited to the number of fate points I have per combat.
Yeah, but you still have like 4 or 5, I think.
No, he's out.
You can keep track of the number of fate points I've spent because I get one for every player that's in combat.
Also, it's at the top of the fate utilities. Yeah, he's already burned through the GM fate points he gets.
Oh, well then I'm gonna use my second boost then.
And there's no reason for him not to take advantage of that fact and eat your boost. So I'm gonna.
But now the free invoke's gone, so he can't use it at all.
Correct. So now the quicksand exists, but he can no longer use it against you because I'm out of fate points. But you get to pick who gets to go next.
Okay. You know, Janek's got some stuff
I do have some stuff.
in the cooker going here, so I'm gonna go to him.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to take advantage of my snake friends and some delightful necromancy, and let's have them squeeze while I use necromancy to sharpen those bones.
Sounds fun.
For me, yes. He's probably not going to be a huge fan, to be completely honest. Boom. I'm going to just go ahead and use my 2 free invokes from Succeeding with Style to create them.
In this particular case, he can't really dodge out of the way, so athletics is out. But he can try to prevent you from sharpening the bones. So we're going to use his will to kind of counteract. The only other one I can see that would work is physique.
Fair enough.
But I think he'd be more likely to use the willpower to prevent the sharpening of the bones.
Sure.
Because he can interfere with your magic. Either way, that's 5 shifts.
That is 5 shifts. And I am also going to go ahead and spend to take advantage of his broken bones to add another +2 to that.
That's going to be 7 shifts.
Fuck this guy, I'm done with him.
All right.
Snake friends.
I'm debating how I want to do this. Because he can still mark a severe consequence. Or I can just put him out of the fight. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and put him out of the fight and end it here. Because with him being put out of the fight, that means the last tree folk deanimates.
Away. Did it.
So I'm basically having him concede.
Cool. I believe that means I get to decide what happens to him.
It's true, you do get to decide what happens to him. Likewise, I get to decide what happens to Ermgard.
Yeah, but you've already decided that. She conceded like 2 turns ago.
It's true, but I never actually mentioned what the final result was going to be. She does survive.
Either way, he's not. He's dead. We're killing him. Or I'm killing him.
Yeah, I wasn't. At this point, it was like, combat's gone on long enough. Let's go ahead and end it.
Yeah.
So, Ray, I think you missed the tail end of combat. The satyr has been killed.
Yay!
Yeah, it was basically we'd gone through enough rounds. He'd taken enough wounds. I was like, it'll take another couple of rounds for you to kill him, but you're gonna kill him now that he's basically by himself. So Ermgard,
Yeah.
you who are unconscious, will be unconscious until you get back to town. And
I'm
when
light.
you, huh?
At least I'm light.
It's true. And you will have a very, very significant fever dream that I have to come up with still. So
Ooh.
I'm not going to share that with you yet because I have no idea what I'm going to do with it yet.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Janik, as the victor over the satyr, has chosen to kill him. Which, he was going to die anyway, so it doesn't really matter. For Eden, as someone connected to nature, the Forest Guardian's presence is still here. The body is dead, however. Like, that corpse is it's just a corpse now.
Okay.
Well, that was aggravating.
It was
Uh,
very much so.
Speaking of aggravating, you may wish to take a look at Ermengarde. I imagine your touch will be a lot more useful than the particular magics I could use to get her back up on her feet.
Yes, I will. I will definitely take a look. Sure, she seems to have been through quite a lot in this ordeal.
Well,
Um, can I? Is there? I mean, is there a way? I know she's like pretty badly beat up. Is there like? Could I like make some sort of potion to like help her in her healing?
You can, in fact, you have the ways to do that. Luckily, for all of you, now that the combat is over,
all stress goes away.
all of your stress sparks go away. The potion would essentially be used to help. The potion would essentially be used to help remove that mild consequence of the bleeding wounds that Erngard has.
Nice.
Yeah, it doesn't go away, but basically once someone has
Yeah,
taken a
I want to
recovery
like.
action, the healing can begin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I want.
basically what he's doing. If I remember correctly, he still has to roll Magecraft since he's using magic to make a potion.
Yeah, if that's what you're saying potion making is, which would make
Yes,
sense.
I
Yeah.
will Magecraft.
Yeah, it's either lore or Magecraft, so you just need a TN of 1. Because you're a nature mage, a healing potion is super easy for you. It is much harder for Janik to make a healing potion.
Yeah,
He can do it. He's just gonna have like a TN of 3 because he's not built for it.
it's not really my wheelhouse, if you will.
It makes sense. It's
Excellent.
like the opposite of what you do.
I mean,
Yeah,
I can get you
so-
back on your feet for, given value of you.
So yeah, you can drink. You can force Ermgard to drink the potion while she remains unconscious, which will mean that probably the end of next session. We'll call it. The wounds will have closed up enough that that consequence will go away. The broken bones will take more time, and you'll actually have to take some time. This is actually something Janet can do and just reset the bones, but healing will still take time because bone manipulation is part of necromancy.
Yeah, speaking of which, I'm definitely keeping these satyr bones.
Okay.
Good idea. Love it.
It is not hard to take the bones. Just,
Put them in my bag of bones. Yeah.
one of the things you will notice is that the satyr skull is not the shape you were expecting.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it a dog?
No, it's still humanoid. Like it's a humanoid skull. It has the satyr horns and all that, but instead of what you would expect for them to have, human-like teeth, these are all fangs.
Nah, it's all sharp.
Yeah, it's all sharp, and there's actually what looks like uh, protrusions on like the crown,
Mm.
where it looks like there are more vestigial horns, which shouldn't be the case.
He's a special satyr. special. Speaking of bones, by the way, I'm also gonna see if I can't, reach out and pull out any bones that are at the bottom of this water, because he apparently likes to drown people in it.
All right, that will actually require you to make a magecraft roll.
Okay, I'll do.
The TN for that is going to be a 2. It's not super hard, but the higher you roll, the better you get.
Better my bone. I got a 2.
Well, you managed to pull out. Your best guess is human, maybe. It's a humanoid skeleton. Based on the shape of the hips, it's probably male.
It's fine. These are a bunch of bones that have been soaking in death magic water. I will find a use for them.
As far as you can tell, there are no other bones.
Oh, they are.
And you can see that some of the bones have started to deteriorate, and not in ways you would expect with something that's underwater.
Beatrix, how are you feeling after your dip?
What just happened here?
You were almost drowned in a lake by a goat. I guess maybe a pond? It's not very big. A lake's kind of a grandiose term.
It is very deep, though.
That's true. Eden, would you call it a lake? I'd say pond based on size, but I suppose you would be the expert.
You would actually refer to it more as a spring, because the water is coming in from underground, and it is, based on Janek's discovery, like 40 feet deep.
I thought it was just a swimming hole.
I mean, technically, springs are swimming holes.
I did not expect this one to try to kill me.
No, that was very apparent by the way you acted when you arrived here.
I mean, you could have stopped me.
Why? You seemed happy.
Fair enough.
Besides, you kept trying to get in.
I mean, look at it. It's very peaceful. So I thought.
Braves are also peaceful. And this is both. How convenient, even.
Is the little one gonna be okay?
I don't know.
I believe so. I've given them a potion to jumpstart their wounds and healing. So it should take a while, but they should be okay eventually.
Suppose that's...
It's disturbing to me that you all took ripe opportunity to find trouble for yourselves in a place such as this, even after my specific instruction to not do that.
I did not
I
take
hope you're not
anything.
referring to me. I didn't do anything wrong. As he's like pulling some of the water out into like vials, because death touched water. Neat.
I was gonna say, yeah, I kind of want some of the water. I also want to, if the harp.
Oh right, the
If
harp
is
frame.
there, I'd like to take the harp frame.
Yeah, the frame survived. Which, now that you're getting a closer look at it, it's made out of some kind of unusual ivory. It's not a bone, not like a bone you would see on the interior, but it's definitely some sort of horn. It's made out of like 3 different kinds of wood, and as far as you can tell, there is some sort of precious gem that is jet black that is embedded in one area.
Well, okay.
And by the way, the wood is all intertwined and is still alive.
Well, that's not normal.
Like it's actually attempting to do photosynthesis, but there's no water so it's not really working that well. But it's also not like dying. So you feel like if you put some water on it, it might grow.
You could grow a harp tree. Damn it.
What if I dip it in the death water?
I mean,
Okay,
you
if you
might
dip it
want
in
to.
the death water, the harp strings will regrow.
That sounds
Okay.
like you are doing that, huh?
Fair enough. Yeah,
It's a good
for sure.
idea.
Oh,
I'm taking this harp and I'm gonna be able to do some sleepy magic with it, I think.
I will. One of the things that I'm looking at doing here is at some point I want to use some of the equipment aspects that are available. Not just yet. So he's going to have to basically practice on an unfamiliar instrument for a while.
That's fine. He'll learn how to use it.
Yeah. So once we've once you're a little more familiar with the system, that's when I'll probably be introducing some of the extra rules. I don't want to bombard you with too much all at once. That's why we're introducing things slowly.
Sure.
But congratulations, you've acquired the first magical item.
Look at you.
congratulations.
You got a harp.
Eden, I
You
have...
do, in fact, have a magic harp. You add it to your notes somewhere on your character sheet.
Magic
Okay.
harp. I got knocked out.
It's true.
knocked the fuck out.
I will probably
Yeah.
start with your fever dream next session, by the way.
I'm hyped for that.
Yeah. So, Eden, I have a bit of a philosophical question for you.
Yes.
And this is as Janix looking down at the pond. What happens when water dies?
I don't know if water has the ability to die. Water.
Oh, I promise everything has the ability to die.
Okay, so if you'd like, you can make a lore roll for what you've heard in terms of rumors. I would suggest you do some of your own thinking and roleplay on it first, but I'm going to give you that option in the event you're drawing a blank.
Or you could, of course, just throw it back to Janik. The fuck are you talking about, Birdman?
So true. It's also true. You could just throw it back at Janik.
I believe water to have properties that are assigned to it. If those properties are removed or changed in some way, the water will act differently. But have you heard of dying water?
Well, death is a transition, and water is well known for its ability to transition. But, so what would you say are the most well known traits of water? Probably fluidity, the ability to change shape. So, when water loses those things, when it transitions to another state where it's rigid and unmoving. By the way, I'm gonna start like feeding necromantic energy into this fucking death-soaked water while I'm saying these things.
Okay. You can either send me a message through Discord of what your intent is, or you can say it out loud.
Do, do, do.
Somebody's typing furiously.
I don't know about furiously, just clickety clackety.
Oh, yeah, you can do that. You do need to make a magecraft roll.
Okay.
I thought you were trying something else.
Do 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 do.
I was not.
What?
I was not feeling the vibes there for a second.
Which vibes? The murder vibes? Those are different. Don't worry about it. Come on. Boop. Ah, come on, skills. Why aren't you being
I mean,
helpful?
a 2 is enough for you to be able to do what you're planning on doing. Why don't you tell people what they see?
Okay. As Genix semi pretending he's talking to Eden and not just monologuing, because villains do that, and I can't help myself. As his energy reaches into this water that so recently tried to drown our companion and devour her soul, it begins to frost over, slowly at first, though creeping more and more as chunks of ice begin to float in the water. I'm gonna say probably a much deeper blue than is. Actually, have you guys seen the Arctic ice that's like crazy deep blue?
I have. That's a really cool color too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't, I suggest you Google it. It's a really it's one of those interesting colors that's like, wow, nature, you can really do that.
Yeah, it's a crazy dark blue. It's also like the hardest version of ice, if I remember right. Super neat. I'll say with a 2, I'm probably not freezing over this whole lake, but enough to get some nice chunks of that Janik then fishes out.
Yep, that's fine. You can have some blue ice.
I have killed the water. It has changed to another state, and that it's now stuck as that until it makes another transition.
And yes, it will not melt.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
Though it is, it does come in various shapes. So one of them is like a jagged piece that's essentially a spindle. You've got one that's not like a square, but it's not a cube, but it's not.
Cuboid.
It's a cuboid. You've got one that's basically egg shaped.
Oh, I wonder what it'll hatch from it.
I say basically, but that's the closest I can give for what it's supposed to look like.
And it all goes into the bag. Well, I suppose we should probably get back to town.
That we should.
I could use a nap.
His death icicles.
By the way, when he pulls out those little icicles, they give Beatrix. They kind of give you like one of those moments of ugh.
Haunted by visions of blue ice.
Yes. Let's get out of here. I need a nap.
It is essentially crystallized death magic when you think about it.
That's pretty cool.
That's why I want it. For reasons that are completely fine and normal.
Well, the return to town isn't difficult. Although you do have to move a little slower because you have an unconscious Ermguard. Since Beatrix and Ermguard are I'm assuming still riding on Eden's back. Beatrix is the only one that hears Ermguard kind of whimpering in her sleep when you return to town.
The saddest, sleepiest little goblin.
At the very least, you won't have bleeding wounds at the end of next session.
Yay!
Although that potion, unfortunately, with the number he got, was not strong enough to start setting your bones. There's ways around that. He can either whip you up a new potion, or Janik can be like, all right, I'm just gonna put the bones back in place.
Want me to put your bones back?
I think I do.
While she's unconscious is probably the best idea.
I mean, yeah, she's gonna scream a whole lot if I wait until she's awake. Which, not great. Woo! 4. That is enough
Hooray.
for a moderate consequence, which this is even.
It is. So, yeah, he started to set your bones. It's going to be a few sessions before the bones are fully set,
They're tender.
but they have started the healing process.
Ah!
Your
Sorry, my
allies,
my foot.
your allies have used their magic to heal your wounds, or at least start healing your wounds.
That does mean you can update the consequences to reflect.
Yes, you can add a notation on there to remind you that they are healing. All right, it is getting close to the end of where we normally stop for session, so I'm going to give you a couple of minutes if you want to discuss what you want to do now that you're back in town. You will have essentially a day, we'll say a day, to prepare before the festival begins.
I think Ermengarde is going to, well, she's going to be resting.
My bones, they hurt.
Yeah, heal my bones, please.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much out of commission.
Yeah, I'm.
She can still do things, but
Her bones are now in the correct shape and connected. They're just tender. You know, gotta wait for the healthy bone mass to grow back from where I connected them.
yeah, they are still they're not broken bones anymore. They're set bones. So that means that they are in the process of healing. But if anybody finds out, they can take advantage of that and then re-break them.
But she should still be mobile and can.
Correct. That will not
Okay.
prevent you from being able to do your usual thing. That just means that you run the risk of
Someone kicking you in the torso.
Yeah, considering how large you are, a kick to the torso is actually pretty pretty easy for some people to do.
Okay.
Wait.
But we will. Let's see. I believe the first is the next Monday. Is Monday next week?
Yes.
Yes.
I know that at least some people might be traveling. I don't know if that's going to be affected by Monday. So do we
Monday,
want to go
I'm
ahead?
still working.
Okay.
I'm good.
So then what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and say this is the end of session. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had fun with the first actual combat. I tried to make it a little interesting, but combat can be boring. Next session, the players will be doing stuff. Again, hopefully villainous stuff. Murder is pretty villainous, so I'm going to give them that. Thank you for joining us.
Our kill counts-
Bye.
Bye.
Kill counts at 2.